Wow, you look like you're caught up in the wires there, bud.
And you got another one of those dancing curtains or dancing whatevers. Two-page spreads, huh?
I can't.
Two-page spreads.
I thought we were done with that. Isn't there another issue out now?
I'm just waiting for my 4-page spread. I'm waiting. You know,
You're gonna have like a centerfold. It's gonna open up
yeah,
into like
exactly.
that's
But you know, Lenswork's gone down to quarterly now, so
I
a
know.
lot less people have the opportunity to be featured there, and that's a shame because it's again, it's the only publication I have any respect for almost.
Yeah,
But I understand Brooks' position. He needs a little life and a little
yeah.
time.
He's getting a
Yeah,
little older, and that only 4 a year, but boy, it's going to be 4 great issues a year. We keep
that
harping
is a
on it,
shame.
but if you're
Maybe they'll
not
be
getting
thicker.
lens work, get it.
Yeah, yeah. And more important than just lens work, it's all those other things that he offers on the online version.
Well, I guess
Gosh,
that's what he's doing too, by the way, right? So yes, he's going to only 4 instead of 6. However, the online content is going up, right? So
oh,
there's going to be more people featured in
oh,
online content, but the printed version is just going to be 4 times a year. And then he's also going to do, another one, another one of another one of these types of books. When you're using a virtual background, that doesn't work real well, but so
oh, you mean you're not really there?
I am not in a Yellowknife
You
right now.
fooled
Sorry.
me.
Yeah, well, when we're going to be in the Death Valley, we should do a live one, just a live, like from the dunes.
Yeah, well, it'll be recorded though, right? Because we don't have any bandwidth out there.
Well, that's true. How would we do a? Yeah, we would have no. We could record it on our phone and then
No,
upload
we
that
just
live.
take a phone like we did with Brooks, just record ourselves sitting there talking.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll do, and then
Yeah.
we'll post one of those live from Death Valley. We'll bring a couple of
Whoa.
chairs out into the dunes.
That will probably draw another 5 or 10 viewers in.
I think we
Whoa.
might up to I forgot to check before we started these recordings. I think we're at 830 or something.
Really? Whoa.
Yeah, we're closing in on 1,000. You know what happens when we hit 1,000? I think
Nothing.
YouTube sends us a plaque, if I'm not mistaken. It's a big plaque with a like thumbs up or something. Yeah.
Uh,
Hey, so today let's talk about sharpness. Is sharpness overrated? I think this came maybe from a viewer too, and I think you have some thoughts on sharpness. Well, the one that comes to my mind is that coyote in Death Valley. I love that story.
yeah, I have a lot of photographer friends whose main focus is
Oh, I see
sharpness.
what you did there.
Yeah, yeah, and I did that inadvertently. Um, and it just kills me. They're constantly reading the lens tests and they're trying to find their optimal aperture. And I get it. I mean, we don't go out and purposely try to make blurry images or out of focus images, but this hyper focus on sharpness is just humorous to me because I don't know, except for certain types of photography, maybe let's face it, if you're doing a bird in flight, you want that tack sharp, and I get it.
Yeah.
But for fine art, expressive photography, I've rarely found it to be the deal breaker or the deal maker. No one has ever looked at the angel Gabriel and then said, if he had only been sharper,
But
because he's
and
out of focus.
in reality, it's not sharp, is it?
No, it's not at all because it's a 30-second exposure and he's standing there.
Yeah.
And to me, that actually helps the image. I thought about if he had been tack sharp, what would that have meant to the image? Would it have made it better? No, I think it would have made it worse.
I would agree.
And many of my images are 30 seconds to 8-minute exposures shooting through several layers of glass, and they're not sharp at all.
Right.
But does it hurt them emotionally and how they impact the viewer? I don't believe so.
Yeah. So to answer the question, is sharpness overrated? I would have a resounding yes in the type of photography that, again, we're hoping to encourage and maybe inspire people to consider, and that's the expressive type of photography. it's way down there on the list. You know, if you had to make a list of the top 5 things, hey, that's a new show. What are the top 5 things that contribute to an expressive photograph?
Yeah.
Sharpness would not even maybe be in the top 5, right? But
And again, we are noting that there is types of photography that require sharpness, and
yes,
you know,
yeah,
and
product
that's
photography. I mean, obviously, if somebody's paying you to create, content that's going in a catalog, and obviously that needs to be sharp, and so having a phase one back with a bazillion megapixels and all that stuff's important. But for expressive type photography, sharpness is way overrated, as
yeah.
is, maybe to expand this a little bit, and we've touched on this before, I know, but just technical perfection or the pursuit of technical perfection before or over, that the connecting, making that a priority over the expressive part of it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, how much attention you pay to something tells you how important it is to you. And when I see people focusing on sharpness over vision or expressive photography, that says something. And I've been there because I was a gearhead and I was a technophile. And it was, and I've said this before, I felt I had no creative ability, so therefore I could compensate by being technically perfect.
Yeah,
Well, no amount of technical perfection can compensate for a lack of vision. It just doesn't work that way.
right,
So,
right,
and that's a shame that I run into so many photographers who just don't believe they're creative. They don't believe they have a vision. And that's sad because it's absolutely not true.
right,
We all have a vision. You can't not have one. It's your point of view.
right.
And we all are creative.
Yep.
We really are. And so you and I have a mutual friend who we really worked with to try to help him believe he was creative. And as I looked at his book that he had published, it was clear that he was creative. I don't understand
Yes.
how we get that into our head that we're not. Kind of like was it you and the singing? Or was it
Yes.
you and a,
Yeah.
or was
Yeah.
it a friend
No.
who told they
Well,
weren't a good singer?
no, that was my brother. Yeah, my brother was told he couldn't sing, and so from that day forward, he believed he couldn't until he was 50 years old. Yeah, but you're talking about our mutual friend. That was a very enlightening dialogue, albeit long, Roger.
We're not going to mention Roger's
What
name, so
don't
don't
mention
worry.
Roger's name.
But
Uh,
but why do we have to work so hard to convince somebody? Why does he want to hold on to the belief that he's not creative?
I know that's what I felt was sad about that dialogue,
Yeah.
because he clearly is, and the book that you're referencing is really quite amazing, honestly, unique, and to him, and images that were clearly expressive of his point of view, and most of them were sharp though.
Well, sharpness also plays into the size of the image. I don't know if it's true, but who's the uh, living great black and white photographer who
Oh,
did the
Clyde Butcher.
no, he did the one on the silk mills and on the nuclear power plant. I think he's from England.
Oh, Michael Kenna.
Yeah, Michael Kenna. I'm told, I don't know if this is true, that he prints only 8 by 8 images.
Correct.
Now, I went into a Peter Lick gallery
Ooh,
and saw one print that, oh my gosh, it could have been 4 foot by 8 foot. And it was of
wow.
this black and white airplane, an old airplane. It was tack sharp and it was enormous. So, how large you're printing certainly also affects this whole discussion of sharpness and
Yep.
how important it is. And let's face it, we all know that we're supposed to view an image at a certain distance, but
Yep.
everybody gets right up to it and they go, you know,
That's true. Yeah.
yeah. And so
Oh,
we become a little
it's
sensitive.
pixelated.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. So
but
the message,
technical perfection, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having it unless that becomes the most important thing to you. And then that becomes a problem. And because it means you're probably not putting vision and creativity in
first.
its rightful place.
First, yeah, and I think that's the message today. Yeah, be careful to don't let technical perfection be your god, as I think you see, lowercase g be your god. Rather, let expressive photography be your god, and make that first and foremost. All right,
Okay.
good discussion. We'll see you next week.
Okay.